Breaking down a chicken looks easy when you watch a chef do it. But rather than just being another chef that tries to impress you with how fast I can do it, I'm going to show you step by step. So if this guy were still alive, he would be standing like this on his feet. So obviously that makes this the legs. And then the upper part is the thighs, right there. You have the spine going here. This is the back and the spine. So that would be the front of the chicken, or the chest, or the breast. Head would be here if it was still alive. So now one bone you really have to look out for is the wishbone. That's right up here. And this is like your collarbone. It's a V-shaped bone that goes on either side underneath the breasts. So one bone you really have to look out for is the wishbone. So it sits right there. It's a V shape and it's just underneath the breast meat. That's the one, if you leave it in and someone gets it, they're gonna choke on it. So then what you're gonna do is just scrape. See, when it goes through the meat, it starts hitting that bone. So you do that on both sides. You can hear it. Just make a little cut right beside. So you can see like a V shape. Then you'll be able to get your fingers underneath the bone. There you can see it. Just comes down to there and there. Then there's that little top piece right there. So now you can see that's the top of the wishbone. Just sits underneath the meat there. Now you should be able to pull it out. There we go. Nice and clean. Often this will be broken. It'll be like this already. It'll be broken inside because the defeathering machine is really hard on the chickens and it's like cracks the wishbone. So if you find that like that, make sure you get this piece. It's going to be sitting in there. You've got to make sure you don't just pull this out because that's still going to be there. So if you want more skin on the breast, pull the skin towards the breast, away from the leg. Still going to be plenty for the leg. If you cut it like this, then when you cut away, there's going to be a big gap there. So pull that towards the breast. Then we make our cut. There we go. And just continue through. And the same on this side. So there the legs are detached. That's the only thing we did so far. I'm gonna just pop the bones. So I got my hand under here and I'm kind of forcing it back against there, which makes the hip bone pop out. That's gonna help us later. So there it's popped out on that side and that side, there it comes out. Because later on we're gonna make a little cut there to detach that. So easier if you do that now. Now if you just want a boneless breast, you're just going to cut off the wing. If you want to do a bone-in supreme, what they call it, that has the breast with the upper part of the wing attached. So then you wouldn't cut there, then instead you would cut there. We're going to cut off the wingtip. Just find where the knife goes through. You don't need to cut through the bones. See, that's in between the joint. You don't need to cut through the bones. You can just cut through wherever the joints are. So for this guy, we're doing a supreme. So you can just break it, which also pops open the joint. Let's make a little cut to expose. There we go. Throw that in there. That's a good wing piece, so you don't have to throw that for stock. You can save that. So there we have the upper part of the wing, just the winglet. Okay, now we're going to do our two supremes. So now you're feeling for the keel bone. That's this bone here. That's the keel bone. You can kind of see the shadow. And it just runs up like that and like that. Has a crest on top. So you're going to cut on either side towards the bone. So just feel where it is. There you can see, it's just then what you're going to do is just keep cutting towards the bone, pull the meat away, like that. So it's like you're peeling the meat away. Should be pretty much no meat left behind if you're riding the bones. If you go this way, you're going to lose meat, so always go towards the bone. We detach there. So now the winglet's under here, so we want to make sure we don't cut the wing off. We want to keep the wing. So just cut the skin. You can divide this off. Okay, there's the joint for the wing. See right there? So we want to cut on this side of that to keep that wing bone. Okay, so there we have our first supreme. The tender is on the back here. You can leave that on or take it off. You would just cut there. Just divide there. That would be your little tender. I'm going to leave it on. If you want, you can also come back and tidy this up. Cut any excess fat off. There we go. Okay, on the back, got our two thighs and two drums. They're already broken because we popped a thigh bone, the hip bone. There's two little oysters here. It's called oysters. We don't want to lose those. They're right here. Those are probably the best piece on the chicken. So we're going to make a cut above those oysters, right across here. And then just a vertical cut in between to separate the two parts. The easiest way to do it is just use your thumb. So you're going to pop that under where the meat is. The meat's right there. There's that sort of round piece of meat. So you're going to stick your thumb into that little bone part. See what my thumb went under? And there's the oyster, right there, that piece. It's called that because it looks like an oyster. detach it. One little cut there. Now when you make your cut, you can get the whole thing. You're not going to lose it. See, there's the oyster. This is all bone. So just cut off that part. There we go. There's the bone. Just pop your thumb underneath it. Then just snip that little spot. It's free. Then you can cut the whole thing away. This is great for stock. Just break it right here where the upper and lower parts meet. If you want to separate these two pieces, flip it upside down so the skin's down. Then you're going to feel right here where this bone and this bone meet. There's kind of a bump. Just make a little cut there. So we'll expose the bone. So there's the bone. Now you can go through without cutting through any bones. Just goes right through. There you go. So you have your one little, nice little drum. There's our thigh. Same thing. Just tidy it up if you like. All right. Like that. Two breast pieces. Two upper wings. There we go. If you wanted to debone the thighs, just lay it skin side down. There's the bone, it just runs like that. And you can scrape. That kind of reveals the bone. Make a little cut on either side. Then you're just gonna put your knife underneath and cut. That way you get that little, there's like a little kneecap thing there. Scrape away. And you can do one cut, get all that cartilage. That's good for stock now. You have a little boneless thigh. Oyster's still there, we didn't lose it. So you could roll that up, do a little hors d'oeuvre, do like that little barbecue in a muffin tin thing, maybe a little mini boneless thighs like that. Be nice. Now that you've learned how to break down a chicken, check out this video for how to make chicken stock, and this one for making a restaurant-style dish with chicken.